lights flash as engines roar at dawn. Rubber kings with helmets on, gliding fast on asphalt sea. Racers elite can't be beat. Speed demons find their line. On the edge through turns they drive. Darlington's ghosts whisper loud. Trucks create an iron shroud. Adrenaline and turbo veins, chasing glory through the lanes. Fuel burn, futures unfold in the grip of endless gold. Speed demons find their line. On the edge through turns they drive. Darlington's ghosts whisper loud. Trucks create an iron shroud. Turbo veins, chasing glory through the lanes. Fuel burns, futures unfold in the grip of endless gold. Speed demons find their light. On the edge through turns they drive. Darlington's ghosts whisper loud. Trucks create an iron shroud. Checking mirrors, hearts in the light. Every lap a starlit night. Engines growl a symphony. Racers born to destiny. Speed demons find their light. On the edge through turns they drive. Darlington's ghosts whisper loud. Trucks create an iron shroud.
Gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here this afternoon with the Racers Elite. The Racers Elite League here this evening as the NASCAR trucks jump out onto the racetrack here. Practice just coming to a close, and that means qualifying is now underway. So drivers jumping out onto the racetrack there, trying to lay down their quick times here, trying to put themselves into a great position to start this afternoon as we get a lot of laps here at Darlington Raceway. It is the track that is too tough to tame. The Lady in Black, it goes by a lot of different names, but it is one of the most fierce and competitive racetracks that we'll see these NASCAR trucks head to throughout any of the NASCAR series, as you can work yourself up towards the front of the field. All it takes is one bad run, one bad corner, and you can put yourself up into that outside fence, earn yourself those Darlington stripes, and potentially end your night, because that wall, it is fierce, and it can tear that right front to shreds in a quick hurry, as we're going to see all these drivers hop out onto the speedway. They're looking to lay down their quick times here, trying to get set up and ready to rock and roll here in this one, as we do see that Home Depot number 43 ride Alex Teft out there on the racetrack. Is Teft looking very good here. Curtis Ecker out there as well in the Jack Daniels Coca-Cola number 8 ride. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I do apologize if I get some names wrong or anything else. I do apologize. We'll try our best to correct or pronunciate each and every single one of these names the correct way. And if you do hear me say it wrong, don't be scared. Jump up into the comment section, let us know, make sure that we get it right. As right now, quickest here in qualifying is this number 13 ride. It is the Pals number 13 machine of Brandon Honeycutt. Right now, quickest out there in qualifying. Troy Thomas in the Extreme Sim Racing number 3 machine. Now up into position number 2 is Truth Hoke. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Truth Hoke currently sits in position number 3, but the quick time goes to the 3 ride. Troy Thomas lays down an absolute heater and jumps to the top of the speed charts. Now we do see the 77 ride here of Alex Gates. Gates jumping out onto the racetrack here. The 77 ride looking to try to lay down a great lap time as these drivers got just under half of this, qualifying session left. They got to try to get out there. There's a lot of drivers that have yet to lay down a lap time as we do see Jesse Fox jump out there. The 69 ride in the Racers Elite machine slides out onto the speedway here. We did see Jesse in the comment section over there on YouTube as well. He says, hello, Jesse. How are you? Good luck out there, brother, and hopefully we can see the 69 ride racing and battling and beating and banging, elbows up, racing towards the front of the field throughout this afternoon. As Jesse Fox looking to try to lay down a great lap time, we do see the 99 ride jumping out there as well. The no bull number 99 of Philip Archibald. He's going to lay down a good lap time here as he's looking to try to race his way towards the front of the field. Is Andrew Taft. Andrew in that Bills Mafia 99 ride, or 86 ride. Is it 86 or is it 98? It was tough to see. It's 98 on the doors, but 86 on the roof. Okay, so that's fairly confusing, but we'll go with the 98, the Bills Mafia AMR Paint Studios, the AMR Race Control 98 truck currently sits inside the top 5, and that lap will jump up into position number 2. A great lap right there for Andrew Taft. As Yo Caster plays. What's good, Caster? Caster coming in showing the love, says, yo, what's good, mister? How are you? As we do see Alex Gates. Gates gonna lay down a good lap here. He jumps up inside the top 5. Jesse Fox now into position number 6. Philip Archibald in the 99 ride. He'll jump up into the 7th position. As Casper says, you think this is a league I can do, or they too good? I mean, hey man, you jump in, join, brother. They host a ton of events. If you look in the comment section of the YouTube description, it should have the racerselite.com website there, and it should give you all the information. They got a lot of different leagues, a lot of different races that they host and put on a consistent basis here. They're going pretty much every single night of the week or almost close to it. So if you want to get in on the fun, if you want to jump in there and become part of the Racers Elite Series, make sure you check them out, man. Make sure you check them out. Join in there, jump in there, and try your hand, man. Whether or not you're at the front of the field or if you're at the back of the pack, it just doesn't matter, man. Racing's racing, and it's a lot of fun out there as we do see a new quick time. Blair Hollyman jumps to the top of the speed charts. Hollyman now fastest out there on the speedways. We see the Caterpillar number 60, Ali Campbell. Looks like he's going to jump up into that 6th position, as Caster says. When do they host? Though, that's the problem. I'm not 100% sure, brother. You can check out all their info over there on their Facebook channel, or on their they have a Facebook channel. They also have a YouTube channel you can check out, but you can join their Discord through the website, and you can join in and see all of their stuff. P.S. I don't see it. You should be able to just type it right in. It should be in the description below the title there, and it should be like the 3rd line down at the very end. It's just racerselite.com. So if you look up racerselite.com, you should be able to find it. As Jesse Fox says, say hello in chat, hit the thumbs up, and subscribe. Yes, sir. You know it, Jesse. You know it, brother. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys do those couple things for us right there. And if you're feeling generous, hit that share button as well as definitely hit the like button, drop a couple comments, and hit that subscribe button. Become part of the Peacemaker family today as we get ready to play here in this one. As 00 Chris, what's 007 Chris, my boy Chris coming in, showing the big love here in this one as well. What's good, Chris? Mr. Muse showing the love not only over on Facebook but also over on the Twitch live stream as well, as we also had Racers Elite come in with that share over on Facebook, dropping that share in the checkered flag over there on the Facebook comment section, as well as we get ready to rumble here in this one. Qualifying quickly coming to a close, and it looks like Blair Hollyman will hold on to the top spot here and will qualify as our pole sitter this afternoon. As Caster says, I joined the Discord. I see it. Perfect, brother. I love that. Love that you joined in there, got in on the action over on their Discord, and yeah, definitely jump in, man. Hit up some of the drivers, hit up some of the owners or the admin crew. They can point you in the right direction on where to sign up, or what different leagues they have and everything else. As we'll get ready to see these drivers duke it out, man. We got a lot of laps, a lot of hard racing here this evening as Qualifying coming to a close, and now our main feature event about to get underway. These drivers getting ready to play here this afternoon. This is going to be a ton of fun as 007 Chris coming in with the Let's Go baby over there on Twitch as well. Let's go, Chris. Let's get it, my boy. Let's get it, homie, as we get ready to see these drivers duke it out as, yo, my boy, Chris Muse, 007 Chris coming in with the resubscribe as well. The Prime sub over there on Twitch, the 8 months of being an absolute beautiful human being, an absolute beast, coming in with that Prime subscription over on Twitch, brother. I appreciate that, homie, as we get ready. 105 laps of racing action here at Darlington, as this is going to be a lot of fun. Yep, just sent, hey, yo, when do y'all race? And is there class limits, or can I just sign up in general? Yeah, hey, I mean, that's all you can ask, brother. That's all you can ask. That's all you can figure out, as you just never know. You just never know. You know, it could be different, classes, different series, everything else. I know these guys got a lot going on, so I'm sure they'll find you something to be able to jump into and join the fun here with the Racers Elite as we get ready to rumble here in this one, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Came here for a show. Well, here you go. Our main feature event is about to get underway, and starting on the pole in that 32, it is the Dale Earnhardt Sr. looking paint scheme here, the good wrench number 32. It's Blair Hollyman who will start in the top spot here this evening. To his outside in the Extreme Sim Racing number 30 machine, that is Troy Thomas, who will start in the outside of the front row. The Pizza Hut number 01, that is Sean Dunaway, as Dunaway will start there in the third spot. To his outside is that Bills Mafia 98 ride of Andrew Taft. Starting in position number 5 in the 13, that is Brandon Honeycutt. To his outside in the Caterpillar number 60, that is Lee Campbell. Starting in position number 7 in the 55 ride, the Wrangler machine, that is Truth Hoke. And to his outside in the number 99, it's Philip Archibald. Rounding out our 5th row here on the racetrack in the number 12, it's Brandon Sanfilippo. To his outside in the 77, it's Alex Gates. Then we see Jesse Fox in the 43 of Alex Tepp, Dennis Kane, Kirby Wainscott, Curtis Ecker, Ryan Coker, John Ashby, Rob Yost Jr., Tim Wright, Matt Mettler, and Rowan Lloyd bringing up the rear of the field here in this one as we are quickly green flag racing, and we'll end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as look out as the 01 loose down through quarter 1 and 2, and unfortunately loses a ton of positions here as he tries to get back up to speed down in through our back straightaway, is the Boeing back straightaway here at Darlington, and already that 01 ride running into some big issues is out in front. Leading lap number 1 here this afternoon is that 32 of Blair Hollyman, as Blair out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done here in this one. He's looking to keep on his dreams of being the reflection of perfection here this afternoon. Quickest in qualifying, hoping to try to lead every single lap here this afternoon, and hoping to put that 32 ride up and into the Darlington Raceway victory lane, as Troy Thomas back there trying to hunt him down, already 1 second back of our race leader, as our race leader just laid down an absolutely heater of a lap time, half a second quicker than everybody else out there on the racetrack. Absolutely insane lap of 29.40 out of that 32 truck, and he is looking to try to just run away with this one as quickly as possible, as Andrew Taft in that Bills Mafia number 98 rolls there in position number 3. Honeycutt and Lee Campbell there in 4th and 5th, as Truth Hope up into that 6th position. Brandon Sanfilippo up a couple spots here as Alex Gates also up 2 spots early in this race, as we do see that 01 of Sean Dunaway. Dunaway unfortunately falling back 6 spots early on in this race in the 01. Finds himself just hanging on to a top 10 run here to start this afternoon. Alex Taft right there behind behind him, the Home Depot number 43 machine rolls there in that 10th position with Jesse Fox, Kirby Wainscott, Dennis Kane, hopefully I'm saying that right, Curtis Edgar back there in that 14th position, Rob Yost, Philip Archibald also falling backwards. Here's Archibald, who started up in the 8th position, now back in 16th here. He's actually lost 8 spots on the speedway, not the start that the Winston 99 ride wanted to have here this evening. As Rowan Lloyd rolls there in that 17th position, Matt Mettler rolls there in the 18th spot. Tim Wright back in 19th with Ryan Coker and John Ashby bringing up the rear of the field here in this one. As Caster Plain says, I like that Bills car. I'm a Giants fan myself, but love to see New York guys around. Yes, Sirski, that's a beautiful looking race truck. Now, I'm an Eagles fan, so, I mean, being a New York Giants fan, man, I don't know how you can even be a fan of that organization anymore, man. How do you let Shaquan Barkley walk away? How do you let him just go to the open market, man? That is absolutely wild, but we thank all the Giants officials and everyone in that organization for giving us what could be an absolutely career year, not only for Shaquan himself, but for the entire NFL. Probably one of the best running back performances we've seen in a season ever. So we thank you for that one. As Blair Hawley, man, he's looking to just try to run away with this one. He's looking to do his best Shaquan Barkley impression and looking to try to put this 32 line out in front and running away with this race. As he's now out to about a 2-second lead between himself and Troy Thomas. Thomas, who rolls back there in that second position, starting to see that Bills Mafia machine catching up to him here just a little bit as the Bills machine trying to hunt down that 3 run. As you can see, get a little bit loose there, almost gets into the outside fence, has to roll into that throttle, unfortunately slides quite a ways back, and now you'll see that Bills Mafia machine take that momentum to run down the front straightaway and make that pass for position number 2. So Troy Thomas back into 3rd as Andrew Teff jumps up into that 2nd spot on the speedway. True Hope trying to hunt them both down here as the 55 right now up inside the top 5, rolling there in that 4th position. Brandon Honeycutt, Brandon Sanfilippo, Alex Gates now into that 7th position. Sean Dunaway trying to battle back from his early mistake. He's back up into the 8th spot as Lee Campbell slides back into position number 10. Already a few drivers running into problems, a few drivers falling backwards here in this race, but it's going to be a long race. We got a lot of laps, a lot of time for drivers to, try to rebound, try to clear up mistakes and maybe try to save a little bit of tire out there. These could be long green flag runs and trying to keep some extra tires back there behind pit wall for late in this race, or just trying to bide your time and use the longer run advantage here to help you get to the front of the field. So some drivers that are really on the throttle hard early on in the run, unfortunately could be burning up their stuff a little too quick, and they could be falling off later in the race. So it's going to be down to the nutrition of these drivers and those tires out there on the speedway to see who can really keep themselves on the throttle and rolling out there on the speedway, laying down the quickest lap times throughout this evening. As already we've seen some pretty decent fall off here, and we're only a handful of laps into this race. We're only 12 laps in, so we're already seeing some pretty crazy racing out there. As 007 Chris says, go Eagles. Yes, Sirski, go Eagles. Unless, of course, you guys are playing the Patriots. Laugh out loud. Listen, we got you all once. That's all we needed, brother. That's all we needed. I mean, we'll take it. A Carson Wentz, injury. We put Nick Foles in there. We beat Tom Brady. What was an absolutely amazing show. And last time we went to the Super Bowl a couple years ago, Jalen, the officials were a little bit lopsided there. We're not going to talk about some of the holding calls or anything else there. And that last drive for the Chiefs to win the last Super Bowl there a couple of years ago. So we won't talk about that. We're going to look onto bigger, better things. And we're just hoping that we can run up the score so much that the refs can't do anything about us winning it this year. And I hope that's what the Eagles can do to the poor old Kansas City Chiefs. As Caster Plank says, man, I'm from New York, and no matter the crap they do, I love them still. Sad to say. Listen, I understand that fully, man. I mean, the Eagles are great, but I'm also a Philadelphia Flyers fan. I completely understand, okay? We've been doing things wrong for a long time, and we wish we could get that a lot better. Is that on the racetrack? That 32, man, he has been on a mission. Right from the drop of the green flag, really right from qualifying, jumping out there, laying down a great lap time and claiming that pole position, and now using it to his advantage. No dirty air on the front of his hood. He's able to just keep on pounding the pavement here and rolling down the Boeing back straightaway, looking to try to still stretch out that race lead is my boy Craig Michael Deacon. What's good, Craig? Craig coming in, dropping that thumbs up on the broadcast. How are you, Craig? Coming in, showing the love here this evening as well, dropping the thumbs up over there on the Facebook broadcast. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. Jump up into the comment section and let us know who you're cheering for here this afternoon as the Racers Elite Truck Series going to battle here for their 5th race of the season out of their 13-race season here. We've already seen, 4 amazing races. Now race number 5. Seeing these guys jump out there on the racetrack for the first time. This is the first time I've been a part of the Racers Elite broadcasting group and putting on these shows for all the amazing drivers and fans in the stands. So I'm happy to see new faces and new places, and I'm happy to see some of these drivers. Some of them we've known from previous, races and everything else. We've seen Brandon Sanfilippo and Brandon Honeycutt compete in a couple different series, so good to see them out there on the racetrack again. We've seen a couple of these other drivers as well. Philip Archibald a couple of times. We've seen some of these guys battle. John Ashby as well, we've seen out there on the racetrack. So some of these guys are not new to the Peacemaker family. They know we're here. They know we exist, and it's good to see them out there on the racetrack once again and looking to try to find their way into victory lane. And then some of these other drivers, we haven't seen out there on the racetrack. Some of these other drivers, we just haven't came across, one of their series that they've been a part of or anything else. So to be able to finally get to watch them and see them perform out there on the speedway, it is absolutely amazing as we see a great battle right here. This is about to be a battle for position number 4 as Troy Thomas trying to hold on to that 4th spot. The 13 of Brandon Honeycutt and the 12 right of Brandon Sanfilippo chasing him down, trying to work their way inside the top 4 and top 5 here this afternoon as Thomas does fall back into that 5th position. Now he's got Brandon Sanfilippo right there behind him as the Sanfilippo Solutions number 12 ride rolls there in that 6th position. He's trying to find that run, trying to find the gear to jump up here and make the move around this Extreme Sim Racing number 3 machine and down the front straightaway. He's looking to take advantage of that one. They almost make a little contact right there as the 3 ride does bounce it off the outside fence. Unfortunately loses a ton of momentum, and he'll lose another spot as the 77 ride of Alex Gates goes right up by him. As the 3 machine earns his Darlington stripes here this afternoon, the 77 ride got up and scraped that Boeing back straightaway as well. So a couple of drivers earn their stripes here this afternoon, and everybody trying to race their way to the front of the field. Everybody trying to hunt down this 32 rider, Blair Hollyman, as Hollyman continuing to lead the way, but that gap starting to shrink here. He's now already put the 71 rider John Ashby a lap down here. So the Good Wrench Services plus number 71 of Ashby down a lap. Same with the 44 rider Ryan Coker, as Coker also a lap down here as well early in this race. So dealing with a little bit of lap traffic here, potentially affecting that car, or maybe the tires are finally starting to fall off here, starting to lose a little extra grip, having to move around the racetrack, trying to find that speed here for that 32 machine. And he's seen that almost 2.5 second gap start to fade away here as the 98 of Andrew Kent is following him in his tire tracks and chasing him down out there on the speedway. As some absolutely great racing action here in this one. These guys put on a great show for us here this afternoon. We can't thank each and every one of the fans in the stands for tuning in and cheering these guys on, and can't thank all these drivers for showing up and showing out, man. Already some great racing, some good door-to-door, some awesome passes, and we're already about 25 laps into this race, so about 80 laps or so left to go here in this one. Is this going to be a lot of fun? It's Albert Anderson. What's good, Mr. Anderson? Albert says, awesome job in the booth tonight, Aaron. Loving the broadcast. I appreciate that, Mr. Anderson, coming in, showing the love here this afternoon. How are you, man? How you doing? Unfortunately, here in this this truck series, normally our Tuesday night truck series that we do with the HCK Beagles, they're off, man. Their season is done, so we got to wait a couple months until their season gets going here once again, and then we'll be right back into the booth, and that's where you'll see K-Dub, Kevin Winker, and all of our HCK Beagle family racing out there on our Tuesday afternoons. But right now, we got some time to fill. We got the opportunity to jump up here into the broadcast booth and put on a show here for the Racers Elite. So we couldn't turn up the opportunity. We had to jump in here and put on a show for all these amazing racers. I know Andrew himself has been getting a hold of me, trying to get me in here for a couple series, been trying to line things up. Unfortunately, just time frames or days just haven't really worked, and said he had this race available and wanted me to jump up here. So I was happy to be able to finally make that happen. As you see that 98 truck, he's trying to keep these drivers back there at bay, as we do see this 13 ride chasing them down in a quick hurry here. It looks like Brandon Honeycutt really started to put the pressure on, as we have seen a couple drivers head down pit side. There's the 82, Tim Wright, has worked himself down pit side, and John Ashby also down pit road here. He's finally going to leave pit side as Tim Wright and John Ashby both head down pit road. That's going to put them at least one, potentially two laps down now, maybe even three for John Ashby. Is definitely not the way he wanted things to start here this afternoon. As out in front, Blair Hollyman, he's still just rolling here. Unfortunately, that gap hasn't really shrunk a whole lot over the last few laps. It's still sitting at about 1.3 seconds, so potentially, you know, either the tires are falling off or maybe he's being a little bit more cautious out here on the racetrack, maybe just trying to keep that gap, manage the gap there between himself and Andrew Tapp for position number 1 on the racetrack. He knows that he had a pretty sizable lead. He didn't have to keep on pushing the truck and burning his equipment up out there at the front of the field. He could take it a lot easier, roll the throttle, not be as hard on the equipment as what he was early in this race. And we're starting to see that gap close ever so slightly, so maybe the 98 coming alive as the 13 truck of Brandon Honeycutt definitely coming alive. We've seen Brandon really start to make some moves. He got around Brandon Sanfilippo, he got around Alex Gates, he got around that 55 ride of Truth Hoke in a quick hurry, and Honeycutt finds himself now in position number 3. And from a couple of the series that we saw this 13 ride in, he seems to be really good at taking care of his equipment. Saving those tires, having a better long-run truck is something that we normally see out of this 13 machine, and it's really showing here in this first run of the day, as he fell back into about that 6th, 7th position there for a little while, and then all of a sudden here over the last 10, 15 laps, he's been chasing down our top 3, top 5 here in a quick hurry, and now trying to make the move around the 98 ride, getting a little loose right there. Some smoke in front of him. One truck turned around. That is John Ashby. Ashby pointed the wrong direction on the racetrack, and that is a heartbreaker there for Ashby, as he's going to take his truck down pit side and off the speedway. That is not a good one for him, as that is tough, brother, as that is tough. As Caster Planks is just logged on iRacing to see my subscription has expired. Oh no, brother. That's tough. That's tough, man. That is a tough one right there, and I don't have any money to renew it for a month right now. Yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough. I mean, times are tough for everybody, unfortunately, but you'll have to try to figure that out, man. I don't know what it is. I know there's a monthly fee that you can pay as well. You don't have to buy, yearly subscriptions or 3-month or 6-month or whatever options they have. I do know they do monthly, and costs a little bit more, but it's just a little bit every month. Maybe that's a viable option there for you. As Blair Hollyman out in front, continuing to lead the way, but Brandon Honeycutt, after getting around that 98 ride of Andrew Gatt for position number 2, he is quickly chasing down our race leader, and this may be the first time today that Blair Hollyman will have somebody trying to make a move around him here on the racetrack. Can Blair hold him off? Can Honeycutt chase him down and try to put himself into the front of the field? As this is going to be a great fight here at the front of the field, and I don't know if that 32 has anything left in the tank to hold this 13 machine off, as he is absolutely zooming here on the racetrack, and that 13 right already to the back bumper of our race leader. He may make quick work and pull away in this race, as Hollyman gonna try to hold him off right there, not gonna give him the advantage of the great line out there on the speedway. as they battle down the Boeing back straightaway. A great fight here at the front of the field. Now it's about half a second between our top three, and this race is on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go. A battle at the front of the field is the 13 of Brandon Honeycutt going to make the move down low. The 32 will get onto the binders. He does not want to go in to corner number 1, door to door. So he backs out of it and allows that 13 rider, Brandon Honeycutt, to make the move. And we see our first pass for the race lead here this afternoon. It took about 34 laps, 33 laps technically, for one of these drivers to finally jump up on top of the wheel and make the move around the 32 as Hollyman slides back to second in the first lap led here this afternoon. Lap 34 will be claimed by that 13 machine. 007 Chris says stages. Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't think they're stages. I never got really told if there was stages or not, so I don't think there is. I could be wrong on that, and I don't really know where I would find it, so I'm not 100% sure on exactly where these stages may be. I don't think there is. I don't think there is any stages. I don't see anything on here for their schedule, so I do believe that we are A-okay and potentially clean and green for this entire race with 0 caution flags potentially out there on the speedway. This could be a very long run race, so it's going to be a lot of patience. It's going to be a lot of skills just to kind of keep yourself under control, trying to keep those tires underneath of you and have a great truck later in the run. And then it comes down to when do you have to pit and how many times do you have to pit. How many times do we see these guys head down pit road? Is it going to be once, twice, 3 times? I'm not 100% sure. I do believe now that we're getting closer and closer towards lap number 40, it's starting to look like potentially a 2-stop race, but it could be a 1-stop and done style of a race here this afternoon. If they can make it to lap 50, lap 52, lap 53, kind of split it right down the middle, could give them the opportunity, but we're starting to see more and more trucks head down pit side, including our second place driver, our early race leader, Blair Hollyman, down pit road. So here comes Hollyman, here comes Truth Hoke, Brandon Sanfilippo, all down pit road. Rowan Lloyd also headed down pit side. We already see the 3-rider, Troy Thomas, Sean Dunaway, Dennis Kane, Curtis Ecker, all down pit side. Same with Kirby Wayne Scott. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Wayne Scott, they're in the number 10 ride, also down pit road. So green flag pit stops underway, and here you go. Here comes our race leaders. Oh, Brandon Sanfilippo wrecks here. No caution flag. A huge mistake out of our race leader. Let's play this one back and take a look. It's Brandon Honeycutt trying to head down pit side, trying to make his green flag pit stop. Looks like he's just going to get in a little too hot, trying to get onto the binders. The truck slides sideways and washes up and into the sand barriers here on pit road. And unfortunately, heavy contact there. The entire front end of that truck is tore apart. Heavy smoke already rolling out of that 13 machine. And that may be all she wrote here for the 13 ride. Let's take another look at it as he just gets in. Too hot. That rear end steps out. He's trying to get checked up. Unfortunately, not the way you want to see your night come to a close here, especially as our race leader. Let's see if we can jump on board here with Honeycutt and take a look and see what happens here as it's coming in with a whole lot of speed, trying to make this pit stop count. Unfortunately, just gets in there too hot, too tight, and just can't make that turn down pit road and finds those safer barriers, and unfortunately that truck is toast. Oh man, that is a heartbreaker there for the number 13 machine as he's got that thing repaired. The crew is going to work. They're getting it jacked up, making his pit stop here. Unfortunately, he will go multiple laps down here in this one. That is absolutely insane as Blair Hollyman back out in front, leading the way here. A great green flag pit stop into the 32, and he will claim that top spot once again. So only a few laps without leading this race, and he is right back to the top of the speed charts as we do see Truth Hoke now into second. The Wrangler 55 right rolls there in that second position with Brandon Sanfilippo back there in third. Andrew Teft obviously had to get checked up right there, trying to avoid that 13 right after after his mistake on pit entry. The 98 really had to check up, had to wait for his time to kind of get around that 13 ride, and he lost quite a bit of time right there. Goes from running in position number 3 and being right there tight to our race leader. So all of a sudden now 2.5 seconds back of our race leader, Blair Hollyman, and losing about 2 seconds or so on that green flag pit stop after having to get checked up for the 13 machine. As Lee Campbell, the Caterpillar 60 ride, rolls there in that 5th position. We see the Extreme Sim Racing number 3 machine of Troy Thomas back there in position number 6. Sean Dunaway in that Pizza Hut 01 ride after his early mistake on our opening lap. The 01 back up into the 7th position, looking at still trying to work his way back up inside the top 5 here this afternoon, as he's got Alex Gates, Curtis Ecker, and Dennis Kane right there rounding out our top 10 on the speedway. Rowan Lloyd in 11th in that 61 ride, and then we see Rob Yost Jr. in that Toyota number 83 back in the 12th position. The Home Depot 43 of Alex Tepp rolled there in 13th with the 99 of Philip Archibald back in 14th. Kirby Wainscott there in position number 15 with Jesse Fox, Tim Wright, Brandon Honeycutt, Ryan Coker, Matt Metler. Hopefully I'm saying that right, actually off the speedway, and I do believe we're also going to see John Ashby off the racetrack as well. So we're down to only 19 drivers left out here on the speedway, as Ryan Coker is at the back of the pack. He's the last driver out there on the speedway in that 19th position, as Matt Metler and John Ashby both down and out of this race. They are back behind pit wall. We'll see if they can rejoin and jump back out there by the end of this race, or their nights may be over here, as Brandon Honeycutt, he is back out there on the speedway after that pit road mistake, hitting those safer barriers on pit entry. He finds himself back here in that 17th position. I do believe he is the first driver a lap down out there on the speedway. Now, I'm not sure if he's only 1 or potentially 2 laps down. He's potentially 2 laps down out there on the racetrack. Let's see if we can see the official scoreboard here and see if he is 2 laps down or not, as 007 Chris, Chris, brother, coming in with 100 biddies. What are we even talking about? 007 Chris, my boy, Mr. Muse, coming in with the big love here in this one with the party emote over there in the 100-bit donation over on Twitch. I appreciate that, brother, as yeah, we do see Fox and Honeycutt both 1 lap down now. So Fox, unfortunately, just falling a lap down, as Coker is 2 laps down here. So honestly, after slamming into the safer barriers there on the road, only 1 lap down really isn't too heartbreaking for that 13 truck. And if Honeycutt can get a couple caution flags, could potentially put himself back into contention here this evening. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that, as no caution flags as of yet. Right now, definitely not a spot he wants to be, as we do see him right down pit side here. He's making his 2nd pit stop of the day, as the Actintin Extracts. Oh, I'm probably getting that completely wrong. The number 82 down pit road here for the 2nd time, as we did see the 69 ride of Jesse Fox. Unfortunately for the Racers Elite number 69, he does go a lap down as well, but right now he is currently sitting in that free pass position. So Fox, if we do get a caution flag, he would be the driver to get that free pass and put himself back onto the lead lap, where we're going to need at least a couple caution flags or potentially a wave around, staying out there and not coming down pit side from Brandon Honeycutt to put himself into the lead lap once again this afternoon. So maybe a couple caution flags, maybe a couple open doors there for Honeycutt to get right back into the action here this evening. But right now, Blair Hollyman looking to try to put more and more drivers a lap down. We've been clean and green here for almost half of this race. As Playford Cheats, Playford coming in, dropping that like over on Facebook as well. How are you, Playford Cheats, coming in, showing the love over there on the Facebook broadcast. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, hit that share, hit that follow, and subscribe. But we also saw Robbie Jackson coming in with that heart reaction as well. Jackson coming in, showing the love here in this one. I appreciate that, brother, dropping the heart reaction over there on the Facebook live stream. is out in front. This number 32 ride, he's been hooked up and checked out here for a lot of this race, and he's looking to continue on rolling here at the front of the field. He wants to keep all these drivers back there at bay. Is Truth Hoke about 7/10 of a second behind our race leader, Brandon Sanfilippo, back there in position number 3 with Andrew Teff back in 4th, and we get our top 5 here on the racetrack as Teff trying to race his way back up into position number 2, trying to hunt down that 32 ride once again. Blair Hollyman is looking to try to keep pace here and keep all these guys back there at base, and unfortunately for everybody else, the only driver we've seen pass this 32 ride under the green flag conditions here and not during the the green flag pit stops has been that 13 ride of not Brandon Sanfilippo, the 13 ride of Brandon Honeycutt. So Honeycutt, the only driver able to catch and make the pass. It's one thing to get there. It's one thing to be able to catch up to the 32 ride, but you have to try to figure out a way to get around him, and I think that's kind of what Truth Hoke is trying to do right now. Trying to size him up, trying to see where his strengths and weaknesses are out there on the racetrack, and seeing if, when he gets there, where is the best opportunity for him to try to take a run and make a move to get around that 32. So he's just rolling right there, about 6-7 tenths behind our race leader, Blair Hollyman. I'm sure he's watching that rear view mirror like a hawk, trying to wait and see if that 55 ride will chase him down and make the move around him here as we roll just over halfway in and halfway to go here in this A main feature event. 54 laps about to be completed here in this race. Lap number 55 about to come up and onto the board. So we're about to have 50 laps of racing action left here this afternoon. As lap 55 does jump up onto the board, next time around will be 50 laps left to go. So we've seen about 54, 55 laps of non-stop green flag racing. These guys have been putting on one heck of a show, one amazing race for us here throughout this event. And right now, having these guys fighting out there on the speedway, still seeing top 4, top 5 fairly close in proximity. No one's really running away with this race, but really no one's shown that they can jump out in front and stay out in front of this 32 ride, except for that 13 machine, who's now a lap down and could be trapped back a lap down here through the rest of the evening. There's only 50 laps left to go here this afternoon as we'll jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming. Crank it up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. Make sure you drop a couple comments as we get ready to crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming and give you guys the sights and sounds of the Racers Elite Truck Series this afternoon from Darlington Raceway. So crank up that volume and cheer these drivers on. Alrighty, as you guys see that 32 ride, Blair Hollyman headed down pit road. Our race leader starting to come down pit side for their second green flag pit stop of the day, as that will conclude our Peacemaker Gaming Crank It Up. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give a good hand here to each and every one of these drivers. A beautiful Crank It Up session right there, giving us the sights and sounds around Darlington Raceway. As the 32 will pull down and into pit stall number 1, our pole sitter getting that top spot there on pit lane, and now looking to try to make that second in what could be the final pit stop of the afternoon. We now see our second place driver out there on the racetrack, Alex Gates, also head down pit side in that 77 ride as the 55 of Andrew Hoke leads the way. Hoke out in front, the Wrangler 55 leading the way now as everyone else down pit road. Maybe a little bit of a different pitch strategy here out of this 55 ride, wanting to kind of be a little bit more patient out there, maybe wait a little bit longer, keep on rolling some laps here, even though the times have fallen off a ton here. He's going to give up a lot of time at the start of the next run here, this next set of green flag laps, and we see these drivers kind of battling out there for the final 40-50 laps of this race. He's going to lose quite a bit of time out of the get-go, but late in this race, he should be on his A-game and regaining all that time, and just making that little bit later of a pit stop may be the make or break here for the 55 ride to try to find victory lane this afternoon. Now, we'll have to wait and see how that strategy plays out for him as he came down pit road right now, and about a handful of laps later than the drivers that were out in front of him or right behind him. Andrew Taft, we saw down pit road on lap number 68, so he has about 5 laps or so better of an advantage of those fresh tires right now than what Truth Hoke had. So Hoke, unfortunately, going to lose a bit of time here to Andrew Taft. Taft is going to be our new race leader as Blair Hollyman right there behind him. Hollyman was our race leader when he came down pit road. The 98 ride was back there in position number 3. He was just over a second back behind the 32 ride, but coming down pit road early, the couple laps, even just 2 laps earlier, was able to drive out and leapfrog this 32 ride. And now we see Andrew Taft out in front leading the way here as he makes the move around the 13 ride, but unfortunately meets him off of corner number 2 and got the 98 very tight there. And now here you go, Hollyman, a couple of better tires. He may be able to drive that 32 a little harder than the 98 ride, as these drivers know that this could be the battle for the race lead out there on the speedway. If they can try to keep themselves out in front of one another, whichever driver may prevail may find their way into victory lane, as the longer and longer you lay down these laps and the worse these tires get, the tougher it's going to be to make passes out there on the speedway. So the 32 of Blair Hollyman, he's trying his best to get around the Bills Mafia 98 of Andrew Taft, trying his best to keep that 32 right back there at bay, and hope that he tries to burn up his equipment a little too much here and fall a little short of passing that 98 ride here at this stage of the race. Now you see that 98, he does get loose right there as they were door to door down through the middle of corner 1 and 2. In that 32, Blair Hollyman will make that pass and get back out in front, but here we go. The 98 says, I'm not done yet. He's going to cross back over and look down low on that 32, but a great run down through the high side, the middle there for that 32 machine, and he's able to put his foot in the throttle and keep that race lead. So about a truck length between our top 2 competitors here this afternoon, as we see Brandon Sanfilippo now up into 3rd. Lee Campbell there in 4th. Alex Gates back in position number 5. Sean Dunaway, Dennis Kane, Curtis Ecker, Rowan Lloyd back there in the 8th position, as Ecker does, unfortunately, looks like he's lost connection here and disappeared on the racetrack there for a little bit, as Philip Archibald back there rolling out our top 10 on the speedway. Now we did see Truth Hoke, who was racing up there, rolling in that 2nd position. Hoke, unfortunately, mistake down pit side for the 55 ride. That opportunity that he had is unfortunately gone out the window. He now finds himself a lap down here, and he is currently not the first driver a lap down. I do believe it is going to go, as you do see some pretty good damage there for the 8 machine. He had gotten up into the outside fence of the Jack Daniels Coca-Cola ride, going to head back down pit side. So a tough run here. That right front door to shreds, heavy damage there for him. As he heads back down pit road, looking for the crew to go to work and get that thing back out there. But he's now fallen at least one, potentially going to go a couple laps down out there on the speedway. As Andrew Taft back in 11th, Kirby Wainscott there in 10th. And it's Philip Blanche Archibald there in that 9th position. Rowan Lloyd is the last driver on the lead lap. The number 61 ride rolls there in the 8th position. He's currently the hard charger as well, up 13 spots from where he started, as he started back at the rear of the field in the 21st position. Last driver out there on the speedway, now up into the 8th position, and the last driver currently on the lead lap. He's got a little bit of time between himself and our race leader, as Blair Hollyman right there behind him, as he looks to try to put that 69 right another lap down, and looking to try to put that 13 machine of Brandon Honeycutt another lap down as well, as Honeycutt still only one lap down, but right there behind him is our race leaders, and we saw that 13 run into a couple issues here since his last green flag pit stop. As out on the racetrack, it is Philip Blanchard in that 99 ride. The 99, unfortunately, the first driver as of right now, a lap down. So if a caution flag were to fly, he could get that free pass, the lucky dog, and work his way back onto the lead lap here this evening. And that would give us 9 drivers on the lead lap with only one caution flag. And for Alex Taft, Kirby Wayne Scott, the 55 rider Truth Hoku, who's having a great run up there, battling in second, trying to use that strategy to his advantage. Unfortunately, he's back in that 12th spot and quite a ways away from that lucky dog position. Brandon Honeycutt potentially going to go 2 laps down, and that would take him out of that free pass category right now, and you would have to see a lot of caution flags late in this race to even potentially get back onto the lead lap. Jesse Fox as well in that 69 right now, a couple laps down. Same with Troy Thomas as Ryan Coker there in the 16th position. Tim Wright, the 82, finds himself now in 17th. Curtis Ecker has taken his car off the racetrack here. So Ecker, Rob Yost Jr., Matt Metler, and John Ashby all out of this race. So we only have 17 drivers left here on the speedway. As they call it the Lady in Black, the track that's too tough to tame, and for some drivers, they have definitely struggled here this afternoon, but other drivers have been on point all afternoon. Blair Hollyman, who's out in front, has led the most laps in this race. He's been out in front for virtually the entire afternoon, as the 98 rider Andrew Taft has been up inside the top 3, top 5 here for pretty much all evening, but the 98 has yet to make a move, and yet been able to get around that number 32 of Hollyman for the race lead. But late in this race, the 98 trying to keep himself right there within striking distance with those couple laps, older tires that were, enough to lead a couple laps for the 98 ride during that last pit cycle. Unfortunately, sliding a little farther away from that 32, and Hollyman knows that he's just got to be consistent out there on the racetrack and keep that 98 right back there at bay, as they got about a 6-second gap. He's got a 6-second gap between himself and our third place driver, Brandon Sanfilippo. Filippo sits back there in position number 3. He is quite a ways away from our race leader, and then even farther back away, you see that number 60 rider, Lee Campbell. Lee Campbell almost 13 seconds behind our race leader. And then we see our 5th place driver, the 77 rider, Alex Gates. Gates, he's back here in that 5th spot. He finds himself about 18 seconds back of the race leader, and right there behind him, that 6th place driver, the 01, the Pizza Hut machine. That is Sean Dunaway. Dunaway rolls there in that 6th position, still just trying to get back up inside the top 5 and seeing it right there in front of him. We'll see if that 01 ride can jump up back inside the top 5, but right now he sits about 18.5 seconds behind our race leader. A little farther back, you do see Dennis Kane. As Kane back here in position number 7. He's about 24.5 seconds behind our race leader. Then Rowan Lloyd in that 61, about 26 seconds back of our race leader, and currently the last driver on the lead lap as Philip Archibald, the first driver, 1 lap down, just a little bit behind our race leader. But if he sees that 61 go a lap down, that would take him out of that free pass position on the speedway. As Blair Hollyman continuing to lead the way here in this one with only 18 more laps left to go. 18 more laps of racing action here from the beautiful Darlington Raceway, the track that's too tough to tame, as the 32 goes down through quarter number 3 and 4, this time down and across the line. He'll click off another lap, and we'll have only 17 more to go. So 17 more laps left here for the 32, who's just trying to manage his gap, make sure he keeps the tires underneath of him, and hoping that he can have a little bit better of a longer run than the 98 ride of Andrew Taft. This Taft back there in that second spot. He's over a second back behind our race leader now. He's seen that 32 continue to pull away, and unless if Andrew Taft is holding a little bit back, maybe trying to save these tires and try to catch up to that 32 late in this race. He's starting to run out of time, and the farther and farther he falls away is the more time he's going to have to try to make back, the more time he's going to have to try to race his way back to the rear bumper of Blair Hollyman late in this race. And Hollyman may just be trying to, keep that gap right there. He may just be trying to play a little cat and mouse, keep that distance there, kind of a second or so around Matt. Now trying to take it maybe a little easier on that 32 truck, and he's kind of hang on for this race win this afternoon, as he's been the truck to beat here for a lot of it. The only driver we've seen really under the green flag conditions and under, non-pit stops, under those green flag pit cycles. The only driver that's been able to actually race to the back bumper of the 32 and make that pass was the 13 rider Brandon Honeycutt. Honeycutt now sits back 2 laps down after his mistake down pit road, getting into those sand barriers, the safer barriers there on that pit road wall. And unfortunately, the first time coming down pit road, came in a little too hot, couldn't make the turn, and slammed into those safer barriers, and unfortunately destroyed that car. He had to tow that thing back down pit side, win a lap down, and then throughout the rest of this race is slowly but surely falling back to 2 laps down behind our race leader. So definitely not a spot that the 13 ride wants to be in after being able to make the pass and take the lead away from the 32. Potentially the only truck to do it here this afternoon. Maybe feeling like he gave this one away, as Blair Hollyman sits out in front. That gap continuing to grow here as he continues to click the laps off. The gap is now 1.7 seconds between himself and Andrew Taft. Taft trying to hold on to that second position as a couple lap drivers right there behind him. Philip Archibald trying to work himself back around the 98 ride, the 13 right there as well. Brandon Honeycutt as they're right on the back bumper of that number 98 machine, gonna try to make his life even more tough here on the speedway. Alex Taft back here rounding out our top 10 in the Home Depot number 43 machine. He's also a lap down out there on the speedway, as right now only 8 drivers left on the lead lap. That's absolutely insane. 8 drivers left racing here on the lead lap, and no caution flag so far for almost 90, actually about 93 laps of racing action. So absolutely impressive job, absolutely impeccable driving by each and every one of these competitors. We saw a couple of drivers run into issues. We saw a couple of them go down and onto the apron and spin around there. We saw John Ashby early in the race have that problem, and unfortunately no caution flag for the number 71, and he's taken his car off the speedway. We've seen a couple other drivers make hard contact with the outside wall and unfortunately put themselves down pit road for an extended period of time or off of the racetrack, as currently only have 17 of our 21 trucks still rolling out there on the speedway. As Curtis Ecker, Rob Yost Jr., Matt Metler, John Ashby have all taken their trucks down behind pit wall on the speedway, and unfortunately a lot of other trucks that have ran into issues or mistakes down pit road. Now a lap or multiple laps down out there on the speedway, and it's down to 8 drivers, and really it's down to this 32 ride of Blair Hollyman just to keep pace here, not make any mistakes, and keep himself out of trouble, as he now has over a 2-second lead between himself and Andrew Taft. So a 2-second gap between first and second here here on the racetrack is down across the line. 10 laps left to go will lead the board. 9 laps left here in this feature event. So 9 laps of racing action here this afternoon. And the 32 ride has led virtually every lap here this evening, except for probably about a handful of laps. So we saw Brandon Honeycutt lead. We saw a few laps led by Andrew Teff. We saw, under that green flag cycle, we saw a couple other drivers lead a couple laps there. Truth Hope was able to jump out in front for a little bit. We saw a few other drivers lead a lap or two during the green flag cycles, but out in front for majority of this race, I'd say about 90% of it or 95% of it has been Blair Holyman, and he has been that truck to beat. And now we see Andrew Teff running into some issues here. The 98 ride starting to slide back even farther here, and he's got 3 drivers right there behind him trying to work themselves around him and trying to keep pace with the race leader. Unfortunately, Andrew Teff falling backwards. The gap is now 3.3 seconds between first and second. I think that 98 ride of Teff knows that he is starting to run out of time and running out of opportunities to kind of make any sort of moves here, and he's got to be careful. It's only about 2 seconds behind him. We do see that 12 machine of Brandon Sanfilippo, as Sanfilippo back there in that 3rd position with Lee Campbell and Sean Dunaway rounding out our top 5 here. Good to see Dunaway able to make his way back inside the top 5 after his almost spin on lap number 1. He slowly but surely has worked his way methodically back inside the top 5 as he was able to get around Alex Gates, as Gates sits there in position number 6. Dennis King there in 7th with Rowan Lloyd rounding out our lead lap drivers there, sits in that 8th position on the speedway. Philip Archibald back in 9th, and Alex Teff rounding out our top 10 here on the speedway as Kirby Wainscott there in 11th. Truth Hoke back in 12th. Brandon Honeycutt there in the 13th position in that 13 truck with Troy Thomas back in 14th. Jesse Fox in the 69 sits in that 15th position with Ryan Coker, Tim Wright, Curtis Ecker, Rob Yost Jr., Matt Metler, and John Ashby rounding out the field here in this race. Is out in front, the Good Wrench Services number 32 ride, the Dale Earnhardt Sr. throwback paint scheme here. That 32 is a man on a mission here all afternoon, and he is holding on to the race lead for a lot of laps, a lot of time out in front, showing these drivers how to navigate this beautiful track that's too tough to tame, and it looks like he is trying to tame it here this evening. Still over 3 seconds between himself and our second place driver, Andrew Teff. As Teff trying to hunt him down, but running out of time. And a quick curry is Jeff McJeffrey coming in showing the love. Says, yo, kicking tires and lighting fires. Let's go, baby. Coming in showing the love here in this one. How are you, Jeff? Jeff also dropping that like on the broadcast. I appreciate that, brother. There's only 3 laps left to go this time by the start-finish line. 3 more laps of racing action here with the Racers Elite Truck Series as race number 5 of their season about to come to a close here in the 32 ride. Looking for that checkered flag, looking for not only his first win here on Peacemaker Gaming, but the first win potentially here on the season. As I'm not sure who won the first 4 races, but knowing this 32 ride's laid down some great laps and has looked very, very strong. This will be more than his first win on the season here with the Racers Elite, so he has definitely been that truck to beat, and I'm sure no matter where he goes, he is a tough cookie to try to get around out there on the speedways. He's been picture perfect here throughout the evening. Very minimal mistakes, and even when he does make a mistake, hasn't lost a whole lot of time or a whole lot of ground out there on the speedway, and that's what's kept him out in front of this field. And now just trying to edge it home as he heads down the Boeing back straightaway. Still a big gap is down through corner number 3 and out at corner number 4. 3+ seconds the difference between first and second as Andrew Teff would try to hang on and try to battle with him here late in this race, but looks like he will run out of time as the white flag has been displayed one more time around here for Blair Holyman. As Holyman looking for that checkered flag down through corner number 1 and 2. He'll head down the Boeing back straightaway for the final time here this afternoon into corner number 3, and nice and easy through the corner and out of corner number 4. We'll see him head down the front straightaway here at Darlington Raceway. The checkered flag will be displayed as Blair Holyman will pick up the win here at Darlington Raceway and claim the 5th win here on the season as that 32 ride able to get it done in race number 5 with the Racers Elite Truck Series. And he'll pull himself up and into the Darlington Raceway victory lane. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for the 32 ride as Blair able to put himself out in front. A golden race here, almost being the reflection of perfection, leading about 95% of the laps here this afternoon and starting in that pole position. That 32 ride almost a picture perfect race and able to finish it off here in the top spot after leading the opening laps and leading the final laps here this evening. That 32 truck ready to party down here on the front straightaway as he's going to burn it down, bounces it off the inside fence as he's going to do a couple donuts here and get ready to celebrate his big win this afternoon. The first win for the 32 ride of Blair Hollyman here on Peacemaker Gaming. A huge congratulations there to Blair and the rest of these drivers putting on a great race and a great show for us here this evening. 0 caution flags. It was clean and green racing for 105 laps of racing action. Now we did see a couple bumps and bruises along the way, and a lot of drivers earning their Darlington stripes as now we'll see him do the Alan Kowicki Polish victory lap here, the backwards lap around the racetrack. Absolutely always amazing seeing drivers pay tribute to the late great Alan Kowicki doing the Polish victory lap here this evening as he heads for the potentially final time here down the bowling back straightaway. This time, though, in the opposite direction that we normally see them go as he's going to get ready to jump up here into the broadcast booth for his post-race interviews. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here to our race winner as that 32 ride able to get it done here in this one, man. That was a heck of a run, heck of a drive, heck of a performance here for Blair Hollyman. And we'll get ready to pull him up here into the booth here in just a couple more moments. Wowzers, that was a great race, man. 105 laps, 0 caution flags, nothing but green flag racing out there on the speedway. That is what it's all about right there, man. That is just good, hard, tough racing out on the speedway, and we love to see it. Man, this has been a lot of fun. This has been a great race, and these guys put on a heck of a show for us here in this one, and wowzers, man. I don't know if it gets any better than that. I don't know if it gets any better than that, man. We've seen a lot of great races. We've seen a lot of absolutely amazing performances out of some of our other truck series as well, and these things always put on the best show as we have our top 2 up in the booth, our second and third place driver, but we're looking for our top 3, waiting for Blair Hollyman to jump up into the waiting room here so we can drag him in for his post-race interview as our race winner. He's partying with the family right now. He's hugging his friends and family. He's getting ready here to jump up into victory lane as the Middletown, Pennsylvania Blair Hollyman 32 truck finds victory lane here at Darlington Raceway in the Racers Elite Truck Series. We'll get ready to pull him up into the broadcast booth for his post-race interview here in just a couple more moments. I'm not sure if he's in the Discord or not because I don't see him in there as of right now. Where is Blair? I don't see him. Oh, he is in there. He's just way down at the very bottom. Let's see if we can get him up and into the booth here real quick. Let's see if we can drag him all the way up. Dragging him all the way up. There's just so many channels here. I gotta try to drop him up and just keep on scrolling up here as trying to get him up there as quickly as possible, but it's proving tougher than I anticipated. There we go. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for our race winner, Blair Hollyman, as we'll pull him up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, Blair, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yeah, I got you. How you doing?
Not too bad. Blair, man, what a run, what a drive. Take us through this one, man, as you were almost the reflection of perfection here this afternoon. Obviously qualifying on that pole position, quickly jumping out in front, stretching out that race lead, and all of a sudden there on that long first run, we see a couple of drivers start to catch you. We saw Andrew Temp get there. We saw the 13 of Brandon Honeycutt finally catch you and being the only driver to actually pass you out there on the speedway during the green flag and not a green flag pit cycle. And all of a sudden, you get a bit of a race on your hands. Everyone heads down pit road. The 13 makes a mistake, ends up hitting the safer barriers on pit entry, and virtually takes him out of contention here without a couple caution flags to get the lucky dogs. And that allows you to just duke it out between yourself and Andrew Tafton. It came down to a late race pit stop. He tried to leapfrog you there coming down pit road a couple laps earlier than you, but you were able to just keep your foot in the throttle, keep working the back bumper of the 98, finally getting back around him, and from that point on, you never looked back because you were able to drive away from the 98 and pull yourself up here into the Darlington Raceway victory lane, man. Take us back through this race and what's going through your mind right now as you pull it up into victory lane.
Man, Darlington is one of my favorite tracks on the iRacing circuit. I don't have very much luck in other type of vehicles, like if Xfinity car, I can finish decent, but never get anywhere toward the true podium. But you gotta love how this track is. It's narrow, it's rough, it'll kill your tires in less than 10 laps. It's just trying to pretty much diamond that corner in turn one. You're playing that game of chicken on entry because you want to drop that left sides to that painted line. You want to get as close to the wall in the middle, and you want to make that exit of the corner without hitting the wall at the end. This place is a very, very fun game of pretty much the game of blackjack, and you're hoping that the track doesn't have a better set of cards than you do. But
Absolutely. They don't call it the track that's too tough to tame or the lady in black for no reason. But here tonight, you're drawing nothing but 21s and putting that 32 right up here in the victory lane, leading, virtually every lap except for a handful here this evening, putting on just an absolute display of talent out there on the speedway and putting such a beautiful paint scheme, the Dale Earnhardt Sr. throwback paint scheme kind of deal up here into victory lane, and also doing the Polish victory lap there for Alan Kowicki as well after getting the dub here this evening, man. Take us through, how nice it is to be able to jump into a racetrack with so much, heritage and history, and being able to, pull off the win in that paint scheme, and then doing the Alan Kowicki Polish victory lap here this evening, man. What was going through your mind there during those moments?
those last couple, well, that last pit full fuel run there, it's you want to get that truck on that ragged edge. I knew I had to get back around Andrew the best I could. Didn't bang doors with him. I know we got close. Thankfully, I never touched him. But you want to run that truck on the ragged edge. And when we got to that start finish line, it's how do I want to celebrate it? I know this truck's a throwback. It's essentially a Dale Earnhardt Nova from when he ran the Busch Series back when it first started. This is actually a paint scheme. I think the first time Busch Series went to Daytona, he's the one that won it, and this is the paint scheme for it. But I don't really get to do the Polish victory lap very often. Usually we get to the end of the race there, and truck's all but out of gas. Thankfully, this Darlington race, we were able to have fuel at the end of it, so I was able to get a quick lap around, and we were come off the turn one there, coming back towards start finish line. As all she wrote, we ran out of gas, but I was able to get the lap around, so I was happy with it.
Well, perfect finish here this afternoon. The perfect amount of fuel as you park it up in victory lane. Blair, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this afternoon?
I want to thank my teammate. I know Rob Yost didn't have a great finish there toward the end. He had a miscue in about the middle of the race, but he's the team captain. He's the reason why I do iRacing. Always got to thank him. I know my dad's watching, whether he's still at work or he's at home. Nevertheless, I know he got to watch it or listen to it, so I know he's excited. This truck, although it's the old school Dale Earnhardt paint scheme, there's a couple sponsors that are hidden in it. Holland and Napa Auto Parts, my cousin Tad's business, and ACR Autocore Recycling, that's my buddy Brian's business. And those two, they always are supportive of the racing efforts, although I can't build a real race car, way too much money. We can do it on the sim side, and they can be just as happy, just as supportive with it. So.
Absolutely. Some great friends, some great family, and great sponsors here, a part of the 32 ride here this afternoon, and all celebrating as you pull it up and into victory lane. Blair, congratulations on getting the win here this afternoon in race number 5 on the truck season here with the Racers Elite, but also a huge congratulations getting your first checkered flag here on Peacemaker Gaming. This is the first time I've saw you out there on the speedway, and the first time we see you up here in victory lane as well.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a good evening. Hopefully you enjoyed broadcasting it, and hopefully we get to hear you again.
Absolutely, brother. Hopefully, we get some more shows in and hopefully see you guys race out there on the racetrack even more throughout this season or any of the other amazing seasons and events that the Racers Elite put on. But, Blair, congratulations here on the win at Darlington Raceway, and hopefully, we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth in the next one.
Thank you. You have a good one.
Yes, you as well. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, the 32 of Blair Hollyman, as Blair picks up the dub and parks that 32 truck up and in victory lane here this evening in race number 5 of the season here for the Racers Elite Truck Series. As now we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher, one of the owners, the man with the plan, the master man here. It is the president of the Racers Elite himself, Andrew Taft. Is Taft waiting down pit side patiently here, getting ready to jump up into the broadcast booth. We're going to get ready to pull him up into the booth here for his post-race interview. Hey, Andrew, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yeah, okay.
Andrew, man, what a run, what a race, man. Take us back through this one, as unfortunately, late in this race, you got a couple lap older tires, and that 32 ride of Blair Hollyman just too tough here this afternoon, and unfortunately, you weren't able to run him down, chase him down, but you're able to hold on to a solid second-place run and park that truck up here on the podium. Man, take us back through this race. What's going through your mind right now as you're sitting down there and, unfortunately, not in victory lane?
I probably should have waited a couple more laps at pit to be on more equal tires at the end, but I saw they were coming up on some lappers there right before I did come in, and figured maybe I could save some time by not encountering that, and actually found some other lap traffic instead. So yeah, just probably should have stayed out a couple laps longer to be able to keep up with them better at the end.
Yeah, definitely, a huge gamble. Anytime you have to head down pit road during the green flag conditions. Obviously, we saw you run into problems on the first one as the driver in front of you, the only driver to be able to actually hunt down the 32 and make the pass out there on the speedway to take the race lead away from Blair this afternoon. The 13 rider, Brandon Honeycutt, you follow him down pit road on that first green flag pit stop. You watch him slam into those safer, safety barrels down there on pit road, and all of a sudden you gotta get onto the binders and try to kind of slow down enough where you can find a hole and not get any damage yourself, and avoiding the tore up 13, but also trying to avoid that pit entry wall as well down on pit road. Man, take us back through that. What was going through your mind at the moment as you watched that 13 ride slam into the barrels?
Well, right before that happened, I was just reminding my team that pit entry is pretty sharp here and to blow it up pretty good, and I had that exact scenario on my mind because I've done it before, but luckily he kind of scooted forward just enough where I could squeeze by him, because I was out of gas. I wouldn't have been able to go back around, and it seemed like most of the entry was pretty blocked there. I'm not sure how much room was on the left, but yeah, that woke me up.
Yeah, that definitely wakes you up in a quick hurry, and luckily enough, you're able to escape that situation with, really no damage on your truck. But unfortunately, you did lose a little bit of time there on that pit cycle, and all of a sudden you come back out, you're, few seconds back behind the 32 truck, so you had to try to make a little bit of a gamble there on that second pit stop, and obviously coming down a couple laps earlier than the 70 ride may have been the make or break difference here on the evening. If you were able to stay out in front, get through some of that lap traffic a little quicker, potentially maybe keeping that 32 ride back there at bay. But late in this race, things just did not work out for him. You settled in for a second place run. You're in race at number 5 on the season. Andrew, who would you like to thank for such a strong run and strong performance out there on the racetrack?
Well, first off, thanks for filling in tonight. Really appreciate it. It's always nice to network and meet some new people. So thanks for that. Everybody that tunes in to watch and shows up to race, and our servicemen and women, my family, my team. And if anybody's interested in checking us out, just head on over to racerselite.com. And congrats to Blair.
Absolutely. Well, Andrew, a great run, a great race here this afternoon, man. Nothing but good, hard racing and clean and green racing out there, as well as 105 laps into the book. And yeah, settle in for a second place run this afternoon. We can't wait to hopefully put on another one of these shows for you and jump back up into the booth for the Racers Elite and put on some more amazing action here with the series, whether it's the truck series or any of the other amazing series that you guys put on, and hopefully more and more trips for yourself up here into the Peacemaker Gaming broadcast booth.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and congratulations again on the second place drive.
Have a good night.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for Andrew Taft as Andrew comes home in position number 2. A very good run, a very solid drive into that number 32 ride as the Hope Valley, Rhode Island, the Racers Elite President Andrew Taft coming home there in that second spot this evening. As we'll get ready to pull in our third place finisher, our third place driver here this evening is that number 12 ride, Brandon Sanfilippo. It's been a little while since we saw Sanfilippo out there on the racetrack, but good to see him back out there and back up and into the Peacemaker Gaming broadcast booth. So let's pull Brandon up here into the booth for his post-race interview. Hey Brandon, it's Aaron up here on the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
I do. Hey, bud.
Brandon, man, a great run and a great race here this afternoon for you as you pull it up onto the podium. And as we talked in the broadcast, you know, it's not the first time we've seen you out there on the racetrack, not the first time we've seen you up here in the broadcast booth, man. And it's good to see you back out there on the racetrack and right back up here into the broadcast booth as you park it in that third position, man. Take us back through this race and what's going through your mind right now as you're able to join us up here on the podium.
Just thinking I made the Darlington stripe one too many times. Couldn't stay off the wall. It really just kept killing momentum, but didn't quite save tires the way I wanted to on that second run too. So just kind of a little mistakes here and there that just kept adding up. I couldn't put together the I think the consistent runs that both Andrew and Blair did to have a chance to catch them. But all in all, you know, when it comes to Darlington and you can pull out a top 3, that's a pretty successful day. So I'll take it.
Absolutely, a track that's, you know, usually too tough to tame for a lot of drivers, and we saw quite a few drivers run into problems, obviously get their Darlington stripes, but having more serious contact with the outside fence or into the sand barriers down on pit road, you know, a handful of mistakes for a lot of drivers here at a track that is too tough to tame. Anytime you can, you know, still roll out there, keep yourself out of trouble, not have to come down pit side for an extended period of time or get major repairs done to your truck means that you're, you know, having a pretty solid day out there on the speedway and you're able to cash in for a third place run and have, you know, 2 very fast and tough trucks up there just in front of you.
Yeah, definitely. All in all, fun race. You know, the fact we went green the whole time was awesome. Just it really just shows that this league is you know, a good group of guys who know each other and respect each other. So looking forward to future races.
Absolutely good, hard, respectful racing. 105 laps of non-stop green flag action here for the Racers Elite. And Brandon, you park it up in that third position here this evening. Who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here tonight?
Andrew for putting on the league. You for putting on an awesome broadcast. All the racers tonight, Driving Extreme Incorporated team members in the race, and all my friends and family who are watching.
Absolutely. Well, Brandon, a great run, a great drive, and hopefully we'll see you back up here in the broadcast booth more and more on the season here, and hopefully we'll be up in the booth to be able to broadcast these races and show you, you know, your talent out there on the racetrack and all these amazing drivers with the Racers Elite crew.
Yeah, appreciate it, bud. Thank you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night, and congratulations again on that third place run.
Thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for the 12 rider Brandon Sanfilippo as he comes home in position number 3 here this evening. A great run and a great drive there for the number 12 truck. As unfortunately, that will do it for us here this afternoon. We got to give a huge shout out to the Racers Elite for having us jump up here into the broadcast booth. I was glad to finally be able to make something work and finally get some time in here to be able to, put on one of these shows and be a part of the broadcast team for the series. And I know Andrew's been bugging me for a while trying to get things lined up. Unfortunately, we just haven't been able to get the schedules lined up correctly. And finally, here tonight, we had an opening. They had an opening, so it worked out perfectly. And hopefully, throughout the next couple months or however long, hopefully we can continue to work with these guys and put on some more great shows and display the amazing talent that the Racers Elite has to offer here on the simulator. Well, listen, I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone coming in with the likes, the comments, all the shares, any of the new followers or subscribers. I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and showing the love and becoming part of the Peacemaker family here tonight, or just showing the love for the brand new series out there on the Speedway as the Racers Elite, man. First time here on Peacemaker Gaming, and they showed up and they showed out and put on a absolutely amazing race for us here at Darlington Raceway. Unfortunately, that will do it for us here this evening. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's all she wrote for tonight. Unfortunately, tomorrow evening, I don't think we have anything planned. We may get something going. I'm not 100% sure, but nonetheless, if I don't see you guys tomorrow for racing action, hopefully we'll go live and do something else for you guys to enjoy. Maybe a little Call of Duty or Fortnite, or maybe we'll finally hook the steering wheel back up and run some laps ourselves, as it's been a long time since we were, in behind the wheel and racing here on the simulator and not being up in the broadcast booth. So maybe we'll have to try that again here tomorrow night, but we'll wait and see how the night goes, see where it takes us, as we may just take it as a day off for tomorrow as well. But hopefully we will see you guys in here. We will be back in action on Thursday night as another brand new series about to get underway Thursday afternoons, and going to be a lot of fun, going to be a great time, going to be a great show there as well. So thank y'all for watching, thank y'all for tuning in. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out, baby. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen.
The lights flash as engines roar at dawn. Rubber kings with helmets on, gliding fast on asphalt sea. Racers Elite can't be beat. Speed demons find their line. On the edge through turns they drive. Darlington's ghosts whisper loud. Trucks create an iron shroud. Adrenaline and turbo veins, chasing glory through the lanes. Fuel burn, futures unfold in the grip of endless gold. Speed demons find their line. On the edge through turns they drive. Darlington's ghosts whisper loud. Trucks create an iron shroud. Turbo veins, chasing glory through the lanes. Fuel burns, futures unfold in the grip of endless gold. Speed demons find their light. On the edge through turns they drive. Darlington's ghosts whisper loud. Trucks create an iron shroud. Checking mirrors, hearts in the light. Every lap a starlit night. Engines growl a symphony. Racers born to destiny. Speed demons find their light. On the edge through turns they drive. Darlington's ghosts whisper loud. Trucks create an iron shroud. Checking mirrors, hearts in flight. Every lap a starlit night. Engines growl a symphony. A race is born to destiny. Speed demons find their light. On the edge through turns they drive. Darlington's ghosts whisper loud. Trucks create an iron shroud.